Last week on a dream called MERAAI, between the rolling blackouts, we managed to get MERAAI out of the cold and under roof. This week is going down as Chaos Week.
Bram was at his workshop and he was approached by a group of guys who said if he did not leave, they would burn the workshop down.
A week filled with surprises.
Sure, what a week. Quite a roller coaster one.
Do not go anywhere. Building a motorhome from scratch has never been more fun.
This week a dream from MERAAI is going to be a little bit different. Purely for the reason there's going to be no work done on MERAAI. So what's happened is down on the south coast of KwaZulu-Natal, we've had protest action, and that protest action is about service delivery. The guys who live on the opposite side of the road behind me have got no water. Their refuse hasn't been collected for years. The roads are in such a disgusting condition, they're just not maintained. And nobody is listening to their pleas, so they basically shut the area down. I sympathize with these guys 100%, and I support their cause. The problem comes when violence creeps in to these protests. Bram was at his workshop and he was approached by a group of guys who said if he did not leave, they would burn the workshop down. So East Coast Scratch and Dent is, they closed for business.
After 2 days of protest action, a politician crawled out from some place or other and addressed the crowd. Promises were made and it was agreed to open the highway.
Well, the good news is that the protest action is over, and more good news is that there is power, so we haven't got load shedding, so the oaks are actually able to do a little bit of work here.
It has been a tense few days on the lower south coast, so it is really good to be able to start planning MERAAI's prep work for our bus to motorhome conversion. If something were to happen to our dream, it would be gut-wrenching.
So one of the big issues with this protest action is I am unable to insure MERAAI at this stage of her construction because at the moment she's not a bus, she's nothing. And we've already spent the price of a small car on her. So if these oaks had managed to, vent their anger on East Coast Scratch and Dent and burn the place down, I would have been in a world of pain.
Thankfully, no businesses in the area were damaged. After losing 2 days in the workshop, there is a lot of catching up to do. Priority now is to treat an unwanted guest who is overstaying their welcome.
So what France is doing behind me at the moment is, once again, it's treating rust. I mean, we have to get rid of all of the rust, before we start putting anything permanent in here. It's always been one of the major things that we've really been focusing on. And there was a lot of rust in this bus. So that's what's getting sorted out now.
The lifting of the tension of the last few days has installed a feeling of expectation on the lower south coast of KwaZulu-Natal. Last week I mentioned it was sardine run time. Well, just look what the ocean delivered right on our doorstep.
Hold on there, man. So we may not be doing a lot on the bus this week, but I can tell you right now, if you want to know what sardine fever is, you've got to be down here at the main beach in Port Edward. It is unbelievable. This is what sardine fever is all about, and this is what draws people here year after year to see the greatest shoal on earth.
This is bucket list stuff. The excitement washes over you in waves. As fast as the motorboats were launching from the beach, the shoals of sardine were gathering. Once a boat crew has a man in the water and the net is cast, that shoal is booked. The boats then race back to shore, towing the net ropes. The waiting crew pounce on the rope and begin hauling the catch to shore.
So it's just not stopping. The guys are pulling out net after net after net. These are sights that we haven't seen in this part of the world for many years. They said there was a big shoal coming, and I think this is a mama shoal.
If any of you viewing have motorhomes, get down here and book into one of the many caravan parks in our hood. According to those in the know, the sardine run ain't over yet. But be quick, because the sardine's annual migration is unpredictable and things change quickly. With my adrenaline levels set to maximum, I went back to East Coast Scratch and Dent to address a favorite topic of mine.
Last week had a message from a viewer who said, thank goodness you guys have moved on from the rim saga. Well, buddy, I'm sorry, but we haven't moved on from the rims, but it's not a saga now. What we want to do is get 2 new rims made for the front. So we're going to phone our mate Andy from Total Wheel Rebuild and get some rims for the front made, and we will keep what we got here that you can see. Those will be our spares. The other thing that Andy wants to do on the rear rims is insert gussets. I think they're called gussets. Just to give the wheel a bit more strength. He's worried about the load that it's going to be carrying. He wants to put something like a support from there to there. So you'd have these wedges or some sort of a support all the way around that'll just strengthen this even more.
The guys removed one of MERAAI's rear wheels and fit it to the front. Before we order new front rims, we need to be 100% sure that we have the rim sizes correct. Now the front wheels are further apart than the rear wheels. This means we will need a spacer fitted to the rear hubs to line up the front and rear wheels. We will also need longer wheel studs to accommodate the spacer.
Sure, what a week. Quite a roller coaster one. Lots of highs, some lows, but we've come out the other side as we always do. Next week we will be going and visiting our mate Andy at Total Wheel Rebuild and get stuck into getting our front rims made. We're also going to be looking at buying lights, all the lights for MERAAI. What else have I got? Oh yeah, big surprise with some kitchen equipment. That's something to look forward to. And in closing, I'm pretty chuffed because my photographs were used on the front page of a local newspaper. So that's pretty cool.
Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We are also on Twitter. You will find us under A Dream Called MERAAI. Until next time, keep safe and keep your dreams alive.